Hello friends, Mandar here. I'm back with another video. Today I'm going to talk about Alberta Express Entry Stream. This particular stream in Alberta Provincial Nominee Program has all the requirements for the Federal Express Entry Program. But there is one caveat. The score required for this particular stream is very low. So this particular stream is for somebody who has low CRS score and who otherwise may not be eligible for Federal Express Entry Program or other PNP program. So if you are interested in this topic, please watch this video until the end and let's get started. If you are here for the first time, welcome. My name is Mandar and I make immigration related videos for US and Canada. I would also like to mention that I am not an immigration attorney. If you have specific immigration needs, you should hire a competent immigration lawyer. And as always, if you like this video, please hit the like button and consider subscribing to my channel. On this channel, I give different pathways for Canadian immigration. There are almost 50 plus programs in Canada, federal as well as provincial level programs. Some are temporary, some are permanent. And my intention of the videos is to give you a summarized version of all the pathways that you have available for you. Now every situation is different based on experience, education and background. So there is no one size fits all program. Each individual requirement is different. I know a lot of people get frustrated with so many programs. I have said in one of my videos that if you are really serious about immigrating to Canada, it is in your best interest to find out which program is best for you based on your background and skills and qualifications. So I will give you all the information that I can possibly give on all the programs. That does not mean that I am talking about any particular individual case. So Alberta Express Entry Stream allows a limited number of candidates to be selected from Federal Express Entry System. So the basic premise of this program is that you need to have a Federal Express Entry profile that is active. Another thing is you must have mentioned Alberta as your province of choice in your Federal Express Entry profile. Now candidates who are really eager to move to Alberta and who have connections in Alberta, those will have higher likelihood of getting a nomination from Alberta. So this is a typical PNP program in which you will have to get a nomination from Alberta to be able to qualify for permanent residency. So how it works is, based on the profile that you have on Federal Express Entry System, province of Alberta usually goes and selects candidates that fulfill their requirements. So in the Federal Express Entry profile, you must have self-declared Alberta as your province of choice. So what are the conditions in which you can get a nomination from Alberta? Let's look at them. The first and foremost is you should have an active Federal Express Entry profile. The second one is you must have stated your interest in moving to Alberta permanently. The third one is you must be working in the occupation that supports Alberta's economy. And then the fourth one is you should have a minimum comprehensive ranking score of 300. The last one is very important to note because the score is very low. The score of 300 is the minimum score that is required for you to be eligible for this program. This particular program with its low CRS criteria of 300 will make you eligible for permanent residency, whereas the score as low as this might not have qualified you for other streams of permanent residency. So this program is available for people with low CRS score. Now there are some adaptability factors that will increase your chances of getting a nomination from Alberta. If you have Alberta job offer or previous experience, that will increase your chances of getting nomination. If you have studied in Alberta for undergrad, graduate or master's PhD, that would increase your chances of getting a nomination. And then the third one is if you have a close family relative such as brother, sister or parents or even child living in Alberta, then that will increase your likelihood of getting a nomination. Now there are certain other factors that will actually decrease your chances of nomination. Let's look at them. If you have a Federal Express Entry profile that is about to expire within the next 3 months, that is not a good sign. Now, if you are working in an occupation that is on the list of high wage or low wage, which provides employers ability to not file the LMI, then that may not be a good sign. That may disqualify you. If your job is listed on ineligible occupations list for Alberta Opportunity Program, then that may disqualify you as well. And if you have applied in a lot of different streams within AINP, Alberta Immigration Nominee Program, then that is also not a good sign. So your multiple applications in different stream in Alberta is not going to help with this application. Now, as I said earlier, once you have a profile and if you have CRS score of 300 points or higher, Alberta will occasionally go into the express entry pool of applicants and select applicants that have a score of 300 plus. And based on other factors that I have just mentioned, they may give you a notification of interest. Now, how they do that is they update the notification of interest in your express entry profile. Now you get notified from express entry profile of this nomination, and you have about 2 weeks to go back to AINP at a particular email address and give them a copy of your nomination. In that copy, when you send that email with the copy of your invitation, in that email when you send that copy of your interest letter, you should also provide express entry profile number. Now AINP will confirm this letter and then send you a notification to submit your entire application. They will also provide you links to the forms and checklist of all the documentation that you need to provide. Now, just because you have received the letter of interest from Alberta does not mean that AINP is going to approve your application. Now let's go back and see on the actual website how these draws come up, how frequently they do, and what are the cutoff scores. That will give you an idea. Now, as you can see on alberta.ca, you have Alberta Express Entry Stream Selection Draw. Then there is a table that will give you the date of the draw, the number of letters sent, that was notification of interest, NOI letters, and then you also see the CRS score, that is lowest rank candidate who receives the NOI, which is notification of interest. So as you can see, it goes back to January of 2019, and they almost send these notification of interest every 2 weeks. So you can see it's almost twice at least in every month. So it is put in the reverse order. So to check the latest one, we have to go to the bottom. The last draw happened in June of 2020, so 17th of June 2020. They haven't drawn anything since. That may be because of the situation we have. But as you can see, that they sent 187, so basically 187 people received notification of interest. And then the lowest CRS score was 303, which is pretty low. So that gives you an idea of how the draws are made and what are the lowest scores Now let's look at Alberta Express Entry Stream Assessment Criteria. So now if you get a letter of interest and if AINP has confirmed that, and if they notify you to submit your documentation, you should really consider all the assessment criteria that is required for this application to be processed. So to be considered for nomination, as I said, you need to have an active express entry profile, so make sure that is at least beyond 3 months. Now the second one is you can check for yourself that you need to meet at least one of the 3 federal express entry program criteria: Canadian Experience Class, Federal Trade Workers Class, or Federal Skilled Workers Class. You should have an intention to live and work in Alberta, and you should have an occupation that meets Alberta's development. And as I said, a minimum comprehensive ranking score of 300 is needed. If you have one of those adaptability criteria that I previously mentioned, then it adds to your points. When you submit this application to AINP, they expect that all the information on your federal express entry profile is accurate. So make sure that you go back and check each and every field, such as name, date of birth, address, email address, and everything else related to your work experience, qualifications, scores, IELTS, things like that are accurate. If you have retaken any test or exam and improved your score, make sure it reflects in your profile. Another thing to note is Alberta Express Entry application process is not online. So you have to actually create this application package and send them by mail to the address that they provide you in the checklist. Now remember, if you have multiple applications in different streams within AINP, that is not a good thing. So you really need to select your particular pathway before making an application to AINP. If not, that is going to hurt your case. Make sure if you have previously received not eligible to apply letter, that is also going to harm your case. Also, all the information that you provide this time around to AINP must match your express entry profile information. If there is a mismatch, it's going to either delay your application or outright be rejected. So keep that in mind. So after you submit your application, you will receive a notification or acknowledgement within 30 days. And if you meet all your qualifications, then it will go back to the Federal Express Entry system and your application will be processed. So that was the summary of Alberta Express Entry program. So now remember, this program needs all the qualifications that are required for one of those 3 categories in Federal Express Entry program. So if you are asking me whether I need IELTS, yes, you need IELTS. Do I need education assessment? Yes, you need education assessment and all the other things that are required for Federal Express. The only thing that is different here is low CRS score acceptance for this particular stream in Alberta. So if you meet this qualification and criteria and the low CRS score, it might be beneficial for you to select this stream. Keep an eye on the latest draws and the CRS scores. For those of you who ask me questions about the low CRS score and pathway to permanent residency in that situation, this might be for you. So I hope you found this video useful, and if you did, please hit the like button and consider subscribing to my channel, and I will see you in the next one.